he wants fuel increase to be up to 40 shillings. And it will happen in the next few weeks. Per liter, it will go up to 40 shillings or even more.
In the past 5 years, fuel in Kenya has told a story far bigger than petrol stations and price boards. It is a story of rising costs, economic pressure, and country learning to adjust to a new normal at the pump. From around 130 shillings per litre in 2021 to a historic peak of over 217 shillings in 2023 and back down to around 178 shillings in 2026. From January to 14th April this year and now is 206 shillings. Kenya's fuel prices have moved like a roller coaster.
Mafuta imepanda, hata customer wanashindwa na kulipa, mafuta iko juu. Unakuja unamwambia mafuta iko juu.
Between 2021 and 2026, Kenya's fuel market has undergone one of the most dramatic price cycles in its modern economic history. A 5-year analysis of monthly pump prices published under the Energy and Petroleum Regulatory Authority (EPRA) pricing framework reveals a clear pattern: subsidy-driven stability, a sharp crisis spark, and a slow correction into partial relief. What began as relatively stable fuel pricing in 2021 has evolved into politically sensitive, inflation-shaping economic force that continues to influence transport, food prices, and household budgets across the country. In 2021, Kenya's fuel prices remained relatively predictable. Petrol averaged between cash 127 shillings and 134 shillings per litre, with only gradually monthly adjustment.
Mambo ya fuel kuongezwa, tunataka ireduciwe. Hizo vitu haifai kuongezwa, haifai.
In 2022, April monthly cycle show a clear turning point beginning mid-year. From January to May, prices remained anchored around 134 to 138 shillings, but by June, a sharp escalation began. Key turning point was in June 2022. The fuel prices went up was 159 shillings. In September, it was 177 shillings. In October, it was 179 shillings. By the end of 2022, fuel had increased by nearly 40 to 50 shillings per litre compared to the previous year, making one of the steepest annual jumps in Kenya's fuel history. In 2023 was the full economic impact. Monthly April data shows a sustained climbing culminating in record high. January to May 2023, the prices were 177.30 shillings. In July 2023, the prices were 194.68. In August 2023, the prices were 211.64, slightly high. October to December 2023, the prices were 217.36 at its peak. This period represents the highest fuel prices in Kenya's recorded history. The spike was driven by a weak Kenyan shilling against the US dollar, high importation costs for refined petroleum, global oil market volatility. At the peak, transport costs surged across high country. Food inflation followed closely behind as logistics became more expensive. Tunapata hapo sukari ilipanda na everything. In 2024, the fuel market entered a correction phase. Monthly April data shows a steady downward trend. In January 2024, the prices were 208 shillings in a drop kutoka ya 2023 ya 217. In April 2024, the prices dropped to 193 shillings. In September 2024, the prices dropped again to 186 shillings. And in December 2024, the prices dropped to 176 shillings. Unlike the sharp rise of 2022 to 2023, the decline was gradual and controlled. This stabilization was supported by improved foreign exchange conditions, lower global crude prices, government efforts to stabilize import costs. However, prices never returned to pre-crisis level. Even at the lowest point in late 2024, fuel remained about 40 to 45% higher than in 2021. In 2025, the market had largely stabilized but not normalized. Prices moved within a narrow band, low at cash 176 shillings and high at 186 shillings. Mid-year adjustments reflected minor global import cost changes, but no major shocks occurred. In 2026, from January to March, the prices remained 176, 178 shillings and 167 shillings respectively. However, in April 14th, a sharp increase of fuel price occurred to 206 shillings, which was actually yesterday.
Mafuta itapanda na zaidi ya 40 shillings kuendelea mbele.
Fuel affects the economy by increasing transport costs, raising food and commodity prices, reducing business profits, increasing inflation, lowering household and purchasing power. In Kenya, where transport and logistics depends heavily on fuel, even small changes at the pump can reshape the entire economy. Fuel is not just an energy source, it is a price signal that affects how a nation moves, eats, builds, and grows.